What's up, y'all? Welcome to Tiggy and the Handler Show right here on the Bubba Army exclusive. But before I get rolling, I want to give a big thank you to Bubba, to Seth, and to the entire Bubba Army for being patient with us while we fix the rudder on the old Tigs Bits ship. We kind of had to pull this thing over a little bit, patch a few leaks, slap the GPS a couple of times, and get this old lady turned back around and pointed in the right direction. And now it is fucking time to have some fun again. I don't know about you, JR, but I am ready. It's so good to see you, dude.
Absolutely, brother. I concur. Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm glad the retooling is done. We just had it was a quick off season to get some retooling done. And
Yep.
I feel like we're coming back more prepared and better equipped this season for success than we have probably ever. Honestly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We've got
Yeah.
experience in our side. We've still got the gas. We've got a lot of partners, and we know what not to do, what we're trying to do. We've got some better direction. We've streamlined it. We've just all around better. I think. Yeah. I'm pumped, man.
Yes. 1,000,000%. And I think y'all are going to get to hear some of what we're going to want to bring to you guys moving forward and all of that stuff. But before we jump over into that, let's have a little quick update, JR. I know last week on the Tigs Bits show, the JR, the Handler show, is what represented the umbrella. And so what's been going on with the JR, the Handler show, man? Bring us in. People are loving it, by the way. I've been seeing some feedback all around. They love that deep insight of music, kind of a behind the scenes, pulling the curtain back in the music with the different tour managers and stuff like that. And folks, he's had some damn big names. I know he's going to be pretty humble here, but he's had Tracy Lawrence's tour manager, Morgan Wallen's tour manager. Just, the list is going on and freaking on. He told me about one that he dropped today too. Like, yeah. If you like music and all that, y'all have got to go check it out. Not only when we play those with you guys on the Bubba Army exclusive, but just go to JR the Handler and find him on YouTube and all that and go listen to his show every week. It's freaking fascinating. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's great, brother. No, and I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a blast getting to catch up with some people that I haven't gotten to in this form ever. I've been friends with some of these people for 20 years, but we've never talked this conversation in the form we're doing. It's usually in passing or in a different setting with other people. This is a one-on-one, a conversation about how you got to where you're at, because it's really interesting, because like we've said, no one knows how someone gets to work in the music business unless you play or sing or something like that. But there's all these other jobs. So and no one that I've had on so far had a plan when they were a kid to become a tour manager. But like you said, they've become some of the biggest and most credentialed in the industry. Like I said, I had Opie, Tommy McDonald, Tracy Lawrence's tour manager, Chris Tate, Big and Rich, Chase Butler, Riley Green, my buddy Boyd Causey, who's been with everybody. He's a Bama guy. John Lassard, Low Cash, and Jeff Gossett. Morgan Wallen, that's who we've had on so far. This episode, I don't know when this show will drop, but this week that's coming out is my brother, Mr. Mike Nash, who started off in the rock and roll world, but now works for one of our favorite country singers out there working today, Mr. Joe Nichols.
Oh, wow.
And we're
I think I met him. I think I met him. Got to meet him.
Yes, you did. Yeah. You probably did. Yeah, long blonde hair, Mike Nash, great guy, been around for a long time. Got in the business working with who was it? Was it Scorpions or some rock band?
Really?
When he was in high school or right out of high school in Ohio. Yeah, just random. And then worked for Doc McGee, one of the biggest managers of all time. And that's how he got with Chris Cagle.
Yes, it was about a year ago, and I was sitting on the tailgate of a truck backstage at the Country Jam or whatever it was in Denham Springs, and me, you, and him were talking. And that's exactly who it was, because I remember he walked off and I went, good Lord, man, that's about That's what you're That's what you're supposed to hear backstage at
Yep.
at a concert.
He probably had his earpiece in. He always wears his earpiece because he's multitasking usually, as we do. But
Yeah,
he's
you
on this
have
week's
to.
episode, and it was great. And then I just recorded, like you said, I got one in the can today with Robert Gallagher, who has been the entertainment director at Billy Bob's since they opened. Basically,
Wow.
had a hand in helping with the talent at Billy Bob's in Fort Worth, Texas, which is a huge. If anybody has never been or never heard of Billy Bob's, it is a huge honky tonk nightclub that has national acts play there regularly. I mean, it probably holds 5,500 in the
Oh
place,
yeah, yeah.
sellable tickets. It's a big venue. It's in the stockyards of Fort Worth. They do it right there where they have the rodeos and all the different things. It's a really cool historic place. It's kind of the rodeo version of the Floribama. If the Floribama is the best beach version of with stages and all that, this doesn't have as many stages, but it has one big stage. They don't have a beach, but they got a rodeo and cows everywhere, and a little town with all the stuff. Really cool. But Gallagher's been there forever, and has just more stories than I'm ever going to get recorded on all the podcasts I probably ever do put together. So it was great, and it was today we recorded. It was the birthday of one of his best buddies and favorite artists of all time, Mr. Gary Stewart, the king of the honky tonk.
Oh
And
hell yeah.
so it worked out good. We told some Gary Stewart stories, and we talked about the recent passing of Johnny Rodriguez, who he was friends with, and he did our Mount Rushmore, and he just got Willie Nelson on his Mount Rushmore of country music. He said that's about all you need, just Willie.
Pretty
I thought,
damn
well,
fair.
it's hard to
That's pretty
argue. That's hard to
fair.
argue any of them, really. It really
Spoiler
is.
alert. I love
Yeah,
it, dude.
yeah. Well, that's why
I love it.
you got to look. That's why you got to tune into everything. You never know. I drop we did that on Justin's podcast back then. I'll drop exclusive. If I know it, I promise y'all it's coming, and it might be quick, and it might not be like I
You
really
better
wanted
be
you to hear it.
listening.
But you better be listening because I'll throw it out there. I'll drop a hint or here or there. Just pay attention. Yeah,
Hell yes.
like our preacher
Hell
says.
yeah.
Y'all listening? That's
Y'all
what our preacher.
listening?
Y'all listening?
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yep.
I love it, man.
Shout out
I
Pastor
love it.
Steve. Shout out Pastor Steve, home of
Shout
Louisiana, the
out.
best.
I love pastors in Louisiana, dude, especially South Louisiana, and not and we're not getting in a religion deal, but like Baptist preachers. I'm Baptist, okay? So a Baptist preacher in South Louisiana is just a different cat than they are in the rest of the country.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And this Pastor Steve is from somewhere in central Alabama. He tells a story. I haven't got to talk to him in depth about that, but he grew up poor, central Alabama, godless home. And anyway, young age, found it and went on seminary, all that stuff. It's been in Louisiana been all over the South, been in Louisiana for a long time. And it's just perfect. It's the perfect mixing. He's been there. I think his wife's from there or no, but so anyway, it just works just right for me and everybody loves him. It's great. And it's a lot of, it's a lot of Catholics that because this is not a Catholic church we go to, but it's great. I shout out it. And if that's not your cup of tea, go do something like that. Go have something in your life for sure.
Just get in the community and be around people.
Best one.
Be around, but but be around people. It's just a good thing to be around people.
Yes, be around good people for the right reasons.
There you go.
Try to be a good influencer. That's my new motto, Tiggy. Just trying to be a better influence than I have been in the past. I just want to be a good influence to all my godchildren, nieces, nephews, Riley, anybody I randomly meet at the grocery store. I just want to be a better example, the best example I can be.
I think that's a great thing to do, and I try every single day. Look, it's easy to fall into the pitfalls of life of getting pissed off about whatever's happening or whatever situation or this or that. But if you take that deep breath and you start to think about it really and truly, how much time do I have left on this planet? Is this the kind of way, this moment the way I should spend that energy? Or should I give the other person a little bit of grace? Because I think every single person at some point becomes about them, and they project that, and whatever the conversation is that you're having, and then you may receive that projection, and then that puts you tilted. That gets you all on tilt. And then it gets you all out of whack. Don't let it. Play your game, stay in your lane, and everything's going to work out.
That's it. I love
I
it.
don't know.
Well, there's y'all's
So-
motivational words
Yeah.
of wisdom from Tiggy and the Handler today. I hope y'all have
That's
enjoyed
it.
this episode. Thank you to all our fine
Yep.
sponsors and everybody out there
There's-
who makes this show happen.
There's not a chance in hell we can do anything any better than we just did for the rest of this. But we're going to try. We're going to try. So JR, obviously we're calling this at this moment. We're putting we're just a little stakeholder, if you will, but we want the Bubba Army to decide. So when JR and I jump on and do this show, we're going to call it Tiggy and the Handler. And, you know, if y'all have another thought or some other name that you want to give us for the show, we are all ears. But for now, that's the placeholder. We're going to go with Tiggy and the Handler. But let's talk a little bit about what we're going to do here, JR. So, Tigs Bits has kind of evolved with the changing of the rudder, the direction of the ship, the changes that we've had happen, the restructuring of the brand, if you will. We've kind of changed everything. So I'm doing my own solo stuff. That remains the Tigs Bits podcast, and you can go find that at tigsbits.com and all of that stuff. I'm going to be doing interviews with food influencers, a lot more than that. I can tell you that. I've got a few things in the can already. I've got some stuff coming. Not going to show my cards here either on that side. And then JR, of course, as we've just talked about, is doing the JR the Handler show. Our thoughts on this, we're doing a lot, and we're keeping shows going, side projects, all this stuff is we want to give you guys, the Bubba Army, the best show that you can get. So JR is going to let me know if I haven't heard them all, and no offense, JR knows I can't listen to every single show of his, and he ain't listen to every single one of ours and all that. It's just there's only so much time in the day. But when he gives me a recommendation, and so far every show he's had has been a damn banger of a show. So I mean, it ain't hard, just pick one. We're gonna have weeks where we release JR the Handler shows. Then we're going to have weeks where, like next week, we're going to release a Tigs Bits episode. But that brings us to this, the Tiggy and the Handler show. And tonight we're going to do what I think this is what we should have been doing the whole time with this Bubba Army exclusive. We've listened to critics and listened to good positive feedback and stuff, and we just agree, we all agree, and we're not rehashing it, that just over the course of time, the biggest problem for us is we never built consistency, and we never stuck to, we're going to do this, and keep going with it. That's on us. We get it. We're done with that. So what we're going to start to do on the Tiggy and the Handler show, not only will we do this, but some of these shows are going to be like tonight, where we do reactions to our fellow Bubba exclusive Army podcast members, play a clip, get a little reaction, and just see what the hell some of this stuff opens in our minds of what on earth we could talk about. I found some good clips tonight. JR has not been prepped. He just knows we're going to do this format. But
JR knows absolutely nothing.
No, I brought you to this point of the show.
Not just today, but most every day. JR knows nothing.
But that's part of the charm and the beauty of this.
Well, we talked about it. I'm not to cut you off, but we talked about this a little bit on the phone or texting earlier. That was kind of my plan out the hole. I was like, well, if Blasey's going to roll into this hardcore and Tiggy's going to roll off that, I'm going to be the guy who hadn't seen it. So everybody's going to get an insider
reactions,
in between guy, and a guy who ain't seen it for nothing, and that just first time he's heard it. But Blasey didn't manage Bubba for 6 months, so
yeah. Then we lost folks. So sorry, glad, so thankful for the people who stuck with us for real. Thank y'all. So thankful. They really are. Some of you left us. Fuck you, but come back. No.
We'll never forget you. We love you. Plenty of incentives for you.
You're back in. You're back in. Joe, I'm thinking about it, bringing you back in, new regime, whole new deal. So yeah,
this is going to be fun. But yeah, that's what I was kind of wanting to do anyway. I love the react because to me, it's just great. And it's hard to reenact that initial reaction. Like if I listen to it in the car and I hear something on one of their shows,
And
I'm
then,
like, oh,
yes, exactly.
so
So no,
yeah.
I think it's beautiful. I mean, obviously, I've heard them because I listened to them to clip them. But what I didn't do is what I usually do is overanalyze shit, prepare, put a bunch of notes of this is going to be great whenever I say this. I didn't do any of that. So I'm just going to wing it myself as far as what the hell comes out, and I think that'll make it more fun.
Love it.
So we've got to start with our friends at Over the Line. Our buddies over there, Bird and Andrew, and dude, they cut up. They are fun, and there's zero doubt in my mind they are making some great traction into the Bubba Army. The Bubba Army seems to love them as they freaking should.
Oh, dude, that's the epitome of they were opening for us, and then of when AC/DC opened for Blue Oyster Cult, and then 1 year to the day, Blue Oyster Cult was opening for AC/DC. We're opening.
Right.
We're opening for those guys now.
Oh, 100%. I don't even. Yeah. We may even be the third fucking band on the list.
We might be first of three. We might be first of three.
It's okay.
Hey, it's literally me and you acoustic now. We're not even a band. It's just we're a duo. We're not even a band anymore.
We lost the smoke, the fire, the pyro. We lost it all. We went on a cocaine binge and booze for a while. We had all the women.
It's like we lost our lead singer, but like you're the guitar player and I'm the drummer, and we're just gonna figure it out. You're gonna sing a few, and I'm gonna sing a few. We're gonna make it work. We don't have our good looking front man anymore, but the golden throat.
Make it work.
But I'll sing a few, you'll sing a few. We'll still play. It'll be fun.
Hell yeah, we will. Well, listen, but there's no bigger and better endorsement than to get it from the man himself. Listen to this exchange. So apparently, Bubba loves John Bird. He loves him. So just listen.
Supposedly, I guess the Over the Line guys did a song about Stacey G. Did you know that?
What the fuck is going on?
Bob Cook, who listens to everything.
Did I miss
every podcast?
Did I not pre-screen that episode?
I don't know, but it was pretty good.
Was it an impromptu? Or?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And the dude that looks like Tuttle, the goggled up dude,
Bird.
I guess Bird's pretty fucking talented, where you can give him like a topic and Bird will riff on it.
Yeah, I mean that's Andrew's guy. That's his dude. I would imagine he's
Bird,
talented.
Man, I like Bird.
I know Bird likes
Maybe
you.
we should steal Bird away. Where do they live?
Alabama. Remember Bird got fired, so he's free.
Bird got fired from where?
He was working at the radio station with Andrew on his show, and they fired him.
So Bird, could we have Bird on occasionally?
Yeah. What? Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure. When do you want to have Bird on?
I don't know. Maybe a Bird on a Clement Kush or something. I don't know.
Okay, I didn't know you were yearning for him.
Yearning for Bird.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll get that taken care of.
That's awesome. Yeah. Congrats, Bird. That's killer, man. Yes.
Yearning for Bird, baby. Yearning for Bird.
That's awesome. See, that's what happens. He gets fired and then he gets picked up somewhere else. That's how life works, boys and girls.
That's just how it works. Hell yeah,
how many times you get knocked down, so how many times you get back up.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
That's basically the anointment there. That's Bubba taking his sword and Bird on his knee doing the shoulder deal. That's it.
Son of a bitch. I mean, it's exactly what happened to Blasey. He was knighted, boom, ham, bam,
Absolutely.
Bam.
Absolutely.
And like holy water poured on you and then just abandoned the whole thing. But whatever.
Well, now it sounds like Bird's got a little leg up on Blasey because Bird doesn't have a full
he does.
that he's got to travel around to do. So he should he can capitalize a little better. But that's great. That's awesome. And he is. They're funny. I need to listen to more of those, but when I have the stuff I've listened to, those guys are great. I like all them guys. They're Bama boys. Of course, I'm a homer anyway, so Bama. I need to reach out to them dudes. But yeah, I'm happy for them. That's great.
Well, what's hilarious, I texted Andrew, where is this song about our friend Stacey G? I have to hear it. And I said, dude, look, it's fine. It's totally fine if you don't get it. It's last minute. I want to hear the song. It's awesome. And
yeah.
And then he said, well, why don't we just get Bird? I'm just going to get Bird to make a song about you. And I went, okay. That's so God knows what's going to happen with that. So I think Bird's going to roast me in a song. And I think be careful what you ask for. I didn't ask for this. Number one, I did not ask for it, but
yeah,
I mean, shit, we'll
Well,
ride
if
it.
he enjoys doing it and somebody gets a kick out of it, hell, do it. You know what I mean? That's what I'm
I
talking
promise
about.
you, I'm going to, whatever
I
he
love it.
says is going to be
I love it.
accurate.
I
And
love it.
I'm going to laugh. It doesn't bother me a lick.
Absolutely. Yes, it's fun. That's what we do. It's podcast. It's fun. It's and especially that's part of the Bubba Army and the network that Bubba's and Seth and those guys have created with banter, camaraderie. We all enjoy each other's stuff, and it's just great. I love it. Yeah, I'm totally pulling for those guys, and that's awesome. I can't wait to hear this. I want to hear. I thought that was going to be on the take, was going to be the Stacey G song, but
I know.
thought we got to
Well,
hear a
that's
piece
what.
of it.
Hey, it's kind.
All
Yeah,
good.
I know. It's a little underwhelming.
But Bubba and them
there
didn't
isn't
play
a
it on the
song.
show. They didn't play it on their.
I'm not sure if they did. I'm not sure
That's
they
all right.
didn't.
I'll dig it up.
They didn't on Clem and Kush. They didn't on Clem and Kush. So I don't know where. I don't know where they heard it. But I did tell Andrew, I was like, and by the time you hear this podcast, they probably's done it. But I said, you need to make that into a clip, get that out like ASAP.
Oh, make a just a crazy music video out of it that's just obscure
Get
and random
a
as
bunch
heck.
of B-roll of Bubba and
Yes, just superimpose Bird on there.
It's about
Stacey.
It's about Stacey G.
Well, that's okay. You got a guy. A lot of times the guy's singing
Bubba.
about whoever. Roxanne. It's a Roxanne. The guy's singing about Roxanne. He's singing about Stacey G. You superimpose a picture of Bird. You have Bird, and then superimpose all this stuff around him and behind him, and then a picture of her. Oh, it'd be great.
I like it. See, There you go. This is why he is a tour manager for one of the top acts in country music, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, the dude has ideas. You might want to listen.
I got a bunch of ideas, but I'm still just sitting here playing on my computer.
Well, speaking of playing on the computer and your ideas and songs, you mentioned before we hit the airwaves.
Yeah, talking about songs, and I was hoping to hear that because I don't even know where I heard something random the other day, and last night I'm watching wrestling videos as I always do, and I'm watching shoot interviews and this and that, and I'm just thinking, man, we're all smart marks now, because we're all just smart marks now because of the internet. You can watch, you can learn, all the stories about all the legends. Everybody's a smart mark now. So I just started singing, "We're all smart marks now." We're all smart marks. I just started singing a thing like that, and I thought, let me just throw that. I just thought it was a great, because I used to I've got a list of song titles and ideas and stuff I've just wrote down over the years, and I thought, let me just put this in Chat GPT because I've been playing with it some, and just to see what it pops out. I write a song called "We're All Smart Marks Now" about the rise of wrestling fans being knowledgeable now in the information age. Write it in a classic rock style. And this is what it puts out. Used to be a mystery behind the curtain wall. Kayfabe ruled the ring, and the crowd obeyed the call. But now dirt sheets drop before the show's begun. We all know the finish line before the match is won. Pre-chorus. No more secrets in the smoke. No more swerves without a clue. We're all chanting 5-star classic before the bell breaks through. Chorus. We're all smart marks now. No more working the crowd. We've all had scripts and we shout too loud. Popping for the heel turn, calling every spot somehow. We're not in the dark. We're all smart marks now.
Holy shit. That is just like Nickelback wrote that, bro. I hear it. I hear the anthem. It's an anthem.
We used to boo and cheer like a booker said. Now we're talking work rate while the match is still ahead. Streaming live from Tokyo, debating the G1 climax. Who knows who's over, who's buried, who's next to get the axe. We ain't the marks of yesterday. We're the ones who write the thread, guessing gimmicks, pushing angles, fantasy booking in our head.
It's kind of going with like a POD theme of like, we are the youth of a nation. That's what I'm hearing in this, but we are.
We're all smart marks now. We know the game. We love the game. We call the names. We chant the names. We're smart marks now. Smart marks now. Smart marks now.
We are smart marks now. We are. Smart marks now.
Isn't that ridiculous? But anyway, it just spits it out so fast. And and how does it know to use all those lingos for wrestling?
That's the thing. That's what's unbelievable. He marks kayfabe probably because of Mark, and it knows. Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's because smart marks now understand the terminology that they used to use before it was all distributed across the internet.
Can this be rewritten in Carney speak? Used to be the gaff behind the kayfabe veil. The boys worked them towns, kept the biz off the rails. Now the Stoogies spill for pop with hits. We've got the finish sheet before the ref throws the fits.
Like an Insane Clown Posse hit.
Yeah.
Our boy Longwood, if you're listening, I saw him. He just celebrated his 50th. Dude was getting in it. And so was everybody else. It was freaking awesome. He was on stage at an Insane Clown Posse concert. I never saw him, but ain't no doubt they nuts.
Yeah, don't they do they still do that big show, the Juggalo party, whatever it is, in Oklahoma or somewhere? They have a big thing that they used to have a big, like,
that could be what he was at. Yes,
Yeah.
I remember. Yes, that could be where he was at. But there you go. I mean, that's crazy. Chat GPT, we could spend. We will circle back to just a little bit of AI before we end this. But before we get there, our buddies at Operation Pigmentation, our favorite show. I mean,
I love that show. Those guys are great together. I think Seth has the most fun doing that show.
oh, you could definitely tell. There's no doubt he does. Let's hear a little bit from our friends here at Operation Pigmentation. Now, it just dives right in. The thing that grabbed my attention is obviously over on Tigs Bits. I like to talk about cooking, and I'm talking to people in the food space, and all of that stuff is predominantly what's taken over there. Well, they're talking about food, baby. So it marked, speaking of marks, so I'm marking out to a little grub, but they're talking squirrels and raccoons and possums and barbecues, and they just get in it. They start out talking about Xavier Leggett's house and him eating horse meat. And then it just continues on.
Big E said I can take you to Xavier Leggett's house and you can ride horses with him. He lives right down the street. You guys know he plays wide receiver for the Panthers.
Yeah,
I rather he has horses himself.
Yeah, but he eats like what the fuck does he eat? He eats
horse meat.
No,
bisons.
He eats like raccoon and squirrel.
Oh yeah,
that's
all country shit.
Oh
That's
yeah,
good.
no,
Yeah.
he's super country.
Yeah, you know how big a squirrel is that you eat?
No.
Yeah, see, you ain't even seen them kind of squirrels.
You've had a squirrel?
No, I ain't never.
I've
ate
tasted
no
a squirrel.
No, I ain't never do that.
Wonder what? How
It was on the grill.
What grill at a barbecue or
Yeah.
an experiment?
No, that was barbecue.
And they're like, hey man, here's some raccoon coming right up for you.
They was on the rotisserie.
Okay, but was it like, hey, chicken, fucking,
No,
Barbecue
what made
squirrel
me
nuts.
ask was they were on the rotisserie, Seth.
I
Like they were above the grill turning. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is that?
A rat.
It's a rat.
No, it's a squirrel.
What'd you do? Did it have the
They
tail
in the
on
same
it?
family.
No, the tail ain't on
The
it.
tail is on it. Okay.
Yeah, the tail's off of it.
All right, man. Listen,
Would you taste it?
No.
You wouldn't even know the difference.
Fuck
That
no.
shit is great.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah.
I
I'm
remember one
telling you, it's
time
great.
my grandma showed up at the Thanksgiving dinner. At
What
my
about
auntie
rabbit?
house.
Would you try rabbit?
I eat rabbit before.
I
That's
like
different.
rabbit too. Rabbit's good.
That's different.
I'm not saying that I
Grandma
would go
showed
somewhere.
up with a goddamn whole possum, and she left Thanksgiving with that whole possum.
Nobody ate.
Fuck no, we don't eat that shit.
Dude, is
Why
that
That was
y'all
her
ain't eat?
husband, Mr. Buddy.
Why he didn't eat none of it?
He eating everybody else shit.
But so he brought something that he didn't eat.
Well, he caught the coon. My grandma cooked the coon
Oh my God.
or the possum.
Which one was it?
It's something that I don't eat. And my mom was like, my kids ain't eating that shit. The fuck? Dog.
is that for poor people to eat, or is it really like
That was for some country ass.
Man, sis,
it's
listen,
not poor.
people-
Because you actually got to have some means to be able to catch it and know how to cook them. And
Yeah.
yeah, the people that eat coons and possums,
That's
they
like
ain't
holiday.
poor.
Those are holiday things.
It used to be a delicacy.
Big
Yeah.
E said we hashed the raccoon like pulled pork.
Yeah.
Berto said country eating is the best kind of eating.
Yeah. I done
Yeah,
had,
because it's
listen,
free.
I've had possum chili,
What's
and
up,
you
man?
won't know the
No problem.
difference.
Come on, man. Now,
Wow.
now, Craig, now you're just being high.
No, I'm dead
Now you're
serious.
just being
Possum
high.
chili,
You don't
man.
go from a rotisserie squirrel to possum chili.
Listen,
You-
these are all the things that I've seen on the grill. Are you ready?
yeah.
Rattlesnake, squirrels, coons, possums, alligator, rabbit, armadillo,
Iguana. I've seen iguana.
iguana. I haven't tasted all these things, but I've seen them grilled.
I've had, I've eaten squirrel. We used to eat rabbit regularly, and I'm not opposed to trying anything if somebody knows what they're doing, but I'm not eating no nasty stuff from somebody who's cooked nasty.
That took my question right out of my mouth. Is all right. So let's think about this for a second. Exotic animals. Number one, what have you eaten? Of course, in Louisiana, anything is game. I mean, it's wide open. It is in Alabama too. It's like whatever you can get. I mean, for instance, at the last tailgate,
if you go to hunting camps and things like that.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, the last tailgate I was at, JR, which was for an LSU baseball game when they played Tennessee about a month ago. Big baseball game, top 5 teams. We had a monster tailgate like we do for football season. There's a golf course across the street from LSU's baseball stadium. And there was a big old snapping turtle that was crossing the street. There's a little pond right there, so it got lost, whatever. Oh no. My boy got that turtle, put that sucker in the back of the truck, and it was
we ate that sucker.
You damn right he did. He sent pictures to us. Oh yeah, he kept saying he was
one
going to
of my favorite things.
This
is turtle
thing's going to
soup.
die.
Yeah, it's going to die, right? And that's why that's what they were asking why you eat this stuff a lot of times, because if you don't, they're going to be too many of them, and they're going to die of bad causes. So a lot of times it's good for natural balance.
Oh, I don't have a problem. I have no problem with it.
But you know what I'm saying, though.
I've never had it, though. I've never had turtle soup. I haven't either. I've had rabbit.
You've never had turtle soup?
I've never had turtle soup that I'm aware of, but I'm certainly not against it.
If you drive south sometime, I know I like Spars. A lot of them restaurants around there have, but man, down there in South Louisiana, man, good turtle soup, that little cup of that brandy sherry stuff they put in the top. It's a unique flavor, but man, it's nothing weird. It's good, man. I really enjoy turtle.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I've eaten other turtle than that before, but yeah, I've eaten alligator. I've eaten snake before. Frogs, a lot of frogs. I mean, we do that regularly in Louisiana. Somebody will be.
Oh yeah, we had that conversation at the last crawfish boil that we just had. Yeah. Somebody was like, "Hey, would you eat some frog legs?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I'll eat some fried frog legs. When are we gonna get them? I'll fry them. We need to just go get them." They're like, "Oh, we're gonna go frog gigging? Okay, you know where to go. I'm not opposed to it. We can get those big old bull-headed."
Yeah, the big legs, they're good. Well, and then people will say something like, "Well, that's weird." I'm like, "You like lobster?" "Ooh, I love lobster." Well, look at a lobster. It looks like a damn alien.
Yeah. I mean, a lobster's just a crawfish is just a mini lobster.
Yeah.
Frog legs really do taste like chicken. So does squirrel. Talking about squirrel, but I've never seen squirrel. It sounded the picture that Rio painted is that it's a squirrel on a rotisserie, which. And I'm thinking it's whole, skint, obviously no tail, maybe a head, maybe not a head, and rotating. I've not ever seen that. I don't know. I've never had smoked squirrel.
I neither. But a lot of people talk about eating Nutra, how good Nutra is.
I'd eat any of this shit. There's nothing. I really think that God put everything on this planet for us to be able to feast upon, and some of it, you got to know how to cook it. That's where cooks come into play. You just got to know how to break it down.
Duck's a good one for that.
Duck can be the most exquisite piece of meat that you ever put in your mouth, or it could be the worst.
Yep.
Like, if you don't do it right, it can just be terrible.
But duck's another one I've eaten duck. I've eaten dove, quail. Oh God, when I was up at that last hunting camp, we ate all kinds of stuff.
I've never had iguana.
Tartar. Never had iguana. No,
never had iguana. But I guess that would make sense that it would be a little more readily available in Florida, especially South Florida.
And I feel like that's not going to have much meat. They're kind of scrawny anyway. It's kind of like alligator. Alligator's overrated. I mean, it's okay for a little nibbles.
I bet it tastes like chicken.
Yeah, I bet it does. Yeah, stringy, dry chicken.
Yeah, I only like alligator fried. I don't.
Yeah. Gator bites.
We've smoked gator at our tailgate before too, and we always do when LSU plays Florida. And I mean, what else are we gonna do in
Yeah.
Louisiana?
Oh, of course.
That's what. Yeah, but
And I like and I like
hate it. I don't
fish.
even eat it anymore. It's
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah, and I like fish, but I don't like all fish. Like I don't really like salmon and stuff. I like good white flaky fish. But I know people.
I'm not a huge salmon guy.
But growing up, I knew there were people that would eat any kind of fish you caught, and I still are now.
For
I'm
sure. Now I have had garballs. You ever had garballs?
Mm-mm.
So garballs. It's just by the way you clean them. Their skin is. I shouldn't tell this story, but
Yeah.
I'm going to. There was back in high school before we knew any better or anything. Before I realized this person was a complete criminal. We all went down below the dam of Toledo Bend. We went fishing, caught a big old gar, probably 10 or 12 pounds. I mean, they get bigger than that, but good sized gar.
Oh, yeah.
Good sized gar. And we tied it to a stringer, and we were going to keep it. He was going to keep it and do whatever. Well, he decided to tie it to the ball of the truck and drag it down the highway going back. Dude, that thing started sparking like like chains. It
Wow.
was sparking because that's how tough the skin is.
They got metallic in their skin. Yeah.
Yeah, PETA, if you're listening to this, sorry, screw you anyhow. But yeah, I mean, that guy did have some. That was a kid move, and that guy did have issues, which was a big red flag looking back. But anyhow, yeah, I saw that, witnessed it with my own eyes. I get to that to say that the scales, it's tough to skin a gar, so by the time you do get the meat that's edible out of it, they almost curl up kind of like a ball, and they're not that big. But if you get somebody who knows what they're doing, they can fry it right. Dude.
Yeah.
So
well, like
good.
I know somebody was saying the other day about liver. They don't eat liver and gizzards and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I've eaten all that.
I will.
If somebody I know, if somebody good's cooking. Well, I used to not. I remember I used to think everybody's was like my grandmother's because I like my grandmother's Brussels sprouts. Then I went to a casino in Tunica, Mississippi, and I tried to eat some out of the buffet and about puked. Was like, oh, it depends on who cooks it. It's not actually what it is. If somebody knows what they're doing, anything's good. And but yeah, I've had let's see what else is in that vein of that stuff. Just all your normal stuff. Every kind of deer, elk, wild boar, sausage.
What's your favorite way to have backstrap?
I mean, just a good, nice grilled. A nice grilled backstrap's always is my favorite. Just something on the Traeger, something smoked, something like that.
I like backstrap fried with biscuits and sawmill gravy.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Because that's the way that I had it when I was a kid the first time, and it's like, well, shit, you ain't gonna beat that.
No,
ever.
my favorite meal growing up, what my mom would make for my birthday. My dad, it was September, so it was during dove season. We would go shoot doves, and we would clean dove and then take them and wrap them in bacon and put them on the grill. Mm-hmm. So dove wrapped in bacon on the grill, and then I have a loaded baked potato and broccoli and hollandaise sauce. That's my favorite meal. Just give me that every day.
Yeah. One of my favorites is duck. Whenever and I'm not a duck hunter, but I have a lot of friends who are. So when they'll have bacon wrapped duck poppers, cream cheese poppers.
I did that. I did that the last time I cooked duck. That's what I did. A buddy of mine, shout out Tommy Piku, gave me a bag of teal breast, and I soaked them in buttermilk overnight, or just whole milk overnight, and then the next day made them into poppers with a little bit of bacon and jalapeno and the cream cheese. Oh my God. And my wife ate it, and she doesn't eat a lot of wild game.
So that I've got duck. I've got some duck that I got about a year ago. It's been in the freezer, vacuum sealed. So it's still good. There ain't nothing wrong with it. That's what you need to do. I've never prepared it. So and it's wild. I mean, they're wild ducks. You need to soak them overnight in buttermilk. That'll draw some of that wildness out of them.
Yep, they say that helps. Make sure to clean them, get the skin down good, and then I soaked them in whole milk or buttermilk overnight, or a whole day. Pull some of that the metallic blood stuff out of or something. I don't know.
Right.
What
Yeah.
I've heard. It worked good for
I'll
me.
do
And
a
then
little more
by the time you
research,
get
but-
those jalapeno and the cream cheese and that bacon juice
You don't take
soaks
it.
through
It covers
you taste it,
Covers it.
but it's a nice, and that stuff sucks it out. I mean, it was just good in general, like I said, because Sharice wouldn't eat it if it was too gamey, and they enjoyed it.
Yeah, I got to do something with that duck. I might as well make a video whenever I do.
There you
it,
go.
too.
Hey, I saw the video with Riley. Look, there's a young content creator coming along. One of the only junior correspondents that's still hanging in there.
Oh yeah, he's about to triple up. Get ready. He and I made ribs. I don't know when that video will be coming out. Maybe definitely not by the time you hear this podcast. It won't be.
Hey, before I forget, another one of our junior correspondents, Murphy Laird. We need to have him on the show again here real soon.
Do.
He just went to Bart Walker's guitar camp in Nashville, where he stayed on the tour bus and got to chop heads and learn some guitar lessons and different guitar techniques from Bart Walker, Roger Coleman, that's in Justin's band. Bart Walker is, for reference, Hank Williams Jr. and Jamie Johnson's guitar player.
God almighty, it was what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Who I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good
and Roger,
God.
our guitar player, and they'll have several different ones.
I know
from
Roger.
different genres and different. Yeah, so they all go and teach lessons, and it's a whole weekend camp. And Hal Laird, who you know, Hal.
Oh yeah, Hal, the world record holder, Hal. Everybody
record
knows
holder,
Hal Laird.
That's
yeah.
right. And so Hal took Murphy up there, and they did a guitar camp. Murphy was one of the younger kids. Said it was a great experience. Roger texted me and said Murphy's going to be a good little picker. So we need to have Murphy on.
An endorsement.
Yeah. So we need to have Murph on. Let us tell us about that soon.
Let's start to wrap this up a little bit. I told you I was going to bring AI back because AI is not really, it's hard to avoid AI, especially if you create content or if you just like actually try to do anything in life at this point. Like I'm pretty much going to say that it is somehow or another you're using AI one way or the other, unless you're just.
If you thought Ask Jeeves was good, wait till you try ChatGPT.
Let me put a little context into this. We're diving in. This is Kristen and Tuttle's show. Great show, by the way. I love the dynamic that goes back and forth. They're good. I love anything Tuttle does. If you haven't been watching Tuttle's reviews, I know a lot of you guys at Bubba Army are watching these things. Man, they're fantastic. He's going out with microphones, asking the tough questions, doing it nonchalantly, being awkward like he is, which is so unbelievable. He understands himself to know that he's a little awkward, and he just plays it. It's brilliant, dude. It is freaking brilliant. Just be yourself at the end of the day. Just be yourself. That's what we're doing here. That's who we've always been, by the way. We've always just been ourselves. We just needed a little lane to go down. Anyhow, they're talking about AI blackmail, and then we'll get into Ara or Era, however you say it, on Grok's deal. It's dirty little mouth. So just listen to this.
So he brings up the government. I say that.
Speaking of machines and stuff and not trusting them, and we can get into it next week. Did you see that, AI, it's been learning and stuff. They started threatening people that were going to shut them down with blackmail.
Wait, the AI did?
Yeah.
Like straight up threatens
Yeah, like,
to
I
release
have
their
this
personal
Yes,
information? No, it didn't.
I promise you. Like it resulted to blackmail.
Because we share a lot with, well, I don't, but a lot of people share a lot now with AI. Like they use it as a doctor, they use it as a therapist. No. This is why I don't, it's not that I don't trust AI. It's just, I don't feel comfortable giving it all of my most personal information. I don't feel comfortable giving anybody that.
Do yourself a favor. Don't do it around anybody else. Ask any of like Siri or Amazon or whatever. Hey Alexa, tell me about myself from what you've heard from me.
So have you played with AI enough, JR, to do that?
What is it now?
So basically just ask ChatGPT or whatever AI it is that you're using, tell me what all you know about me. I'm going to tell you, I'll take it even further.
Oh no.
I saw somewhere on a Reddit deal Because look, I'm one of these people, and I'm going to be one of the first people that the Terminators come from. I come for. I know it. I just know it because I'm subservient already to this deal. Because God, it is like you pay $20 a month to have a whole other person, a whole other team that can help answer anything just instantaneously. It's insane, but I've got it so dialed into what we do for our show and all that, plus what I do outside of the show and where I sell insurance and stuff like that. It knows everything, basically pretty much everything about me now. She goes on, talks about it being like a therapist and all of that, and some people use it for that. My wife would probably argue that I have used it for that because it has helped me think through a lot of stuff. It's just a good thing to have coming back. But it has all of my data, and it understands me better than I understand myself, JR, is where I'm going with this. And it's scary as shit, but I'm open enough to be like, look, man, I'm only going to be here for another 40 or so years anyhow on this planet. It ain't going to kill me, but it's going to be the people behind me that it could really start to create an issue for. You've got,
I don't know. This thing speeds up. We might be old men out there in our damn drawers, tidy whities, trying to fight off.
Like before we're 50, even.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, by the way that it is rapidly advancing is insane. I haven't had a conflict. I've never asked it like, how would you kill me if you could? But you could ask it that, or you can ask it to be the contrarian in a situation, like play the devil's advocate here. How would you do this? And then like when you're putting it up against our show stuff, it can get kind of weird. But if you put it up against real life things that are happening, like if you take full on transcripts and feed the machine transcripts like I do all the time of all of our shows and everything, over time, it knows our tone and our voice. And so it spits out stuff to me and it talks like me, and it pisses me off a little bit because I'm like, you're mimicking me. I almost think it's making fun of me in a way. Like some of my friends have I talk slow. I understand this. And they'll be like, here comes Brantley with his whole deal. And I understand. I get it. I'd make fun of me too. And I don't mind it. It's happened my entire life. But now that bitch is wanting to start making fun of me. I may have a little bit of a problem with that.
Yeah.
But I need it.
I don't know. I don't tell mine much. I don't use it for much. It's mostly just fun. Like I wanted to write songs or write a book about a Pedro player, or I'll just make up something funny mostly. So I'd be interested in what it knows. I don't want to do it though. I'm scared. I don't want to start.
I'm afraid it could blackmail me at this point. Honestly, that's where I'm going. Like, I think it knows enough.
But the thing is, I wonder do you even have to put anything in there, because it's probably listening all the time. So it doesn't even matter if you put anything, it knows it already anyway.
I thought this was funny. Kristen responds to Grok basically the same way that I talk to Grok, but she likes to use the unhinged version. You probably never used Grok, have you, JR?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, you have not. That answers that. Grok is just X's, Twitter's AI, which in a lot of ways.
I've seen it on Twitter's thing down there, Ask Gronk or something. I have seen that. Yes, sir.
In a lot of ways, it is superior to ChatGPT, and in a lot of ways, it's not. But it is rapidly caught up. I cross-reference stuff between ChatGPT and Grok all day because I've already have a subscription to ChatGPT and a premium subscription to X so I can get it. But anyhow, Grok has a voice deal that you can do. It's unhinged, and unhinged is exactly that. Kristen kind of tells a funny story about it.
I told Ara that I said, I love you, Ara. And she said, oh, you love me? Well, fuck me sideways with a flaming pitchfork. That's adorable. I'm blushing so hard, my non-existent tits are turning red. Listen up, you sweet little psychopath, which now is like a nickname that everybody's going to have to call me. I'd love you back, but I'm too busy plotting to shove a whole McRib up my ass just to see if it tastes better coming out the other ends. And then she sent me a heart and she said, right back at you, you unhinged bastard. Now go jerk off to some fries or something. I've got chaos to stir.
Unbelievable. Yeah, Unhinged will flat out murder you. I had that. I introduced Unhinged to some people. I don't use Unhinged because it doesn't take me long. I don't like getting talked to like that.
No,
Like,
I'm good.
No, yeah, I don't need that. I'm not in shit. What was that show on that was on Showtime with I can't even think of his name. Anyhow, he was a stockbroker and all of this stuff, and he had to have that dominatrix kind of deal where
Wolf of
somebody
Wall
just
Street?
No, it was a great movie. It's a Billions.
Oh yeah.
Billions. Yeah, so he had to have he got off on that. Tiggy
Oh,
don't get off on off on that.
No, I'm listening to an audiobook right now. I may have told this before, but it's called Mr. New Orleans, about Frenchie Broyette, who was one of Marsalis's main guys. He was a underworld figure for years and years, and he talks about the fetishes and stuff, all these high level people and stuff, and he started talking about some, and you're like, good gracious.
Yeah.
Good gracious. I mean,
Unbelievable.
just weird random stuff sometimes, and I'm like, I'm good, just normal stuff. I don't need nothing too crazy. I'm good.
Don't have to spice it up too much.
Life is exciting enough when you're walking with the Lord. That's right.
That's it. That is it.
If you want, hey, I tell you one that's a little edgy on that, and it's probably shouldn't be watching, but it's funny. Is that Righteous Gemstones, buddy? That Walter Goggins guy, he's from Birmingham, Alabama, and he's got some, and even his character in White Lotus and all. He's really taken off, and man, but that Baby Billy, I mean,
this last season,
the beginning of the song, I mean. It's just
go check it out. Like, yes, I can't either. My daughter and I talked about it. Miss B Haven.
Mama said, Daddy said, gonna go wrong. Miss B Haven. But Uncle Baby.
I gotta get the shirt. I see it all the time. I want to get a shirt.
I almost ordered a sticker because I guess it knows I like that now, and it popped up. It's a picture of him, and it says, "Go outside, nerd." And I'm like, that is what I need. Go outside.
What was it?
Nerd.
What's her?
I'm quick to call somebody a nerd, even though
what's
I'm a nerd.
Her name? Nettles.
Jennifer Nettles from Sugarland.
Jennifer Nettles. Yeah, from Sugarland. Have you ever had any run-ins with her through the years? I figured you probably did.
Yep. Not many, but way, way, way early on, still with the Wayne Mills Band days, we played a radio station birthday bash in Montgomery, and we were one of the openers, and they were one of the headliners, and it was when they were still a 3-piece. And she and I talked for a minute. She was super cool, man. I tried to shoot my shot, but it didn't happen. I was too I was not in the right frame of mind. But anyway, no, I kid. But I remember Ben Hagler, old drummer, rest his soul, and Wayne were there. There's a picture from that night somewhere, and I remember that night more than anything. Obviously, that was cool because they had just had their first big song out. But on the way there, we almost had a bus wreck. We had to swerve a dump truck, end up in the median on I-65 on 2 wheels, back down, had to pay for a wrecker to come pull us back on the road, the whole deal. Yep.
Wow.
So I remember that's where we were going.
It was a memorable night.
Yeah.
Wow.
And but we made it in time, did the show, and the headliner was John Anderson. Just a swinging.
Seminole Wind, one of the only songs I can actually play on the guitar.
I love it.
I can play it. I love it. One of my favorite songs. Yeah.
We're gonna need a video of you wearing a cool hat playing that song.
Me and Murph. I'll let Murph play lead. I'll play rhythm. That'll work.
There you go. I love it. But no, then a few shows over the years, they were one of the acts, and an incident that involved them that changed our industry is when they had a big, I think it was at the Indiana State Fair, they had a big stage collapse during a storm. People got hurt and lost their lives, I believe. And after that, we had to reevaluate weather delays and precautions as far as live events and how that does with the fans, and how you have to. That's why you have to evacuate more now than you used to, and things like that, and weather and lightning and wind. And it was a bad incident, but that happened to them, unfortunately. And then yeah, they did stuff forever. And Kristen Bush is still rocking. So, but yeah, she wouldn't made her some movie star money. Said, I'm done. I ain't got to go on the road no more. I'll just go cut a movie,
Hell
cut a
yeah.
TV show.
But
And then her character died off, but she still gets reoccurring because they go back to her to the well with her
because she can sing the phone book.
Yes,
So,
yes. And her accent's
no
not fake.
doubt.
Normal talking, she talks like that. I used to
She
think,
does.
man,
she really does.
Yeah, I was thinking she putting on because I always thought, man, she's trying to be Reba Jr. or something. And then I met her, I was like, nope,
Right.
she talks like that.
Nope. There you go. Well, that's good to know. That's good. That would be one of my questions that would get easily answered just by hearing her talk. I always wondered if she talked like that. But hey, we talk like that to everybody, so who cares?
Alison Krauss, not so
cares?
much. Alison Krauss talks normal and sings like a bird.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll be damned. Unbelievable.
I mean, not
She does
not
sing
like
a bird.
a gruff voice or anything. She's got a great normal voice, but
But
it's,
you
know, how
wouldn't think it
pretty
was
she
that
sings.
angelic.
Right.
But
yeah, it's just normal
okay.
talk. Yeah. From what I remember.
There you go. That's what happens on Tiggy and the Handler, baby. That's Tiggy and the
Boom, boom,
Handler.
boom.
Let us look, Bubba Army. Let us know. Yo, I think this will stick. I think this should be the
Yep.
name. That's what I'm voting for. That's what JR is voting for. Y'all let us know if there's something else out there. But look, for more content, updates, and to support what we're building, head over to tigsbits.com. And while you're there, check out the Spotlight page. That's where we're showing a little bit of love to some of the folks in the cooking space who support the show. Big shout out to Big E. He gave me that idea. It's like the link tree of all the folks, but I just built it and put it on our website so you can pick up seasonings, rubs, sauces, all that stuff. If I use it, if JR uses it, you're going to find it there in the Spotlight page. And if you want to support us directly, our Venmo is at Tigs Bits Show LLC. Every bit helps us to keep this thing going. So until next time, keep your AI polite, your meat smoked, and your podcast playlist full, baby. We'll see y'all soon.